Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the WGLNA Season 2 Gold League. Congratulations to girls for getting that T25. Congrats, man. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and YouTube /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on battleviewer.com, go over there right now and check it out. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and answer for us the question of the day.
Which is, what is your favorite scouting map?
All right, for mine, it would have to be Prorowka. Just watching this new season, the Tier 10s, and how kind of crucial it is for those scouts after the rest of the team kind of stalls out and see that they kind of really make or break the game. David, what about you?
Pretty much all of them.
Pretty much all of them. So, guys, let us know right now in chat, which is your favorite scouting map as we are getting ready to go into our next battle between Aquatic and eClipse. The face-off is ready. On the side of Aquatic, we have Mr. Man. On the side of eClipse, we have Master Pupil. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. And Mr. Man, going to go ahead and start off with you. Now, on the side of Aquatic M60s, one thing that I've really enjoyed watching you guys do is able to go up against these kind of top teams in the league and just go toe-to-toe with them. No fear at all. How as a team do you guys kind of approach this and not see them as someone to be feared?
We honestly, we don't fear them. We practice a lot against a lot of these teams, and we could kind of judge from practice and stuff how we should be able to do, and we just go in and play our best.
All right. Well, best of luck as you continue to play your best. And it's always fun to watch you guys perform.
What is your favorite scouting map, Mr. Man?
I would have to go with Proc as well. I love Proc for scouting. All the nice bushes and stuff. It's really good.
Get to surf those ridges.
Surfing those ridges all day. All right, Master Pupil, now over to you, sir. On the side of Eclipse, when you guys face off against 07, you guys had a very close game on Tuesday. Going to Ghost Town, you guys chose attack. Why did you guys choose that?
Well, the strat that we had prepared for it, the fast cap, the 113s and the IS-7, honestly, we were really confident in that. We don't practice Ghost Town too often, I think anyone could admit, on the team. But the plan was that this fast cap was going to work because it does force people to push into unnecessary positions. The only problem was that I believe it was Synergy was in the E3, and him sitting there, literally, he penned the IS-7's Cupola. He penned the front of my 113 twice, I think. We had no way of countering him because all we could see was his Cupola at a really bad angle. So, I mean, we threw away 3 tanks there. And at that point, it was already over. There was no way we could come back with that. So, I mean, we were pretty annoyed that we chose attack after everything had failed. But it was really close.
Sure.
We were, I think, a second or two away from capping it out.
It's one of those hindsight things.
Yeah, dang it, why? But hey, it's all a learning experience, and if you guys do it in the future, I'm sure you guys will take it clean any day.
What's your favorite map for scouting, Pupil?
I'm an awful scout. I'm a heavy player, so it's scouting's not my thing. So I'm gonna be that guy and say Himmelsdorf is my favorite scouting map.
Beautiful. No one said it tonight. I'm not sure anyone else will. Gentlemen, before we get into the battle, Mr. Man, anything you'd like to say to Pupil before we get started?
Good luck, have fun, and let the best team win.
All right, Pupil, your response?
I was told you can't really see Skype, but I got this razor, and I was just thinking maybe you could shave that thing right above your upper lip.
No! All right, those going for those personal burns. Gentlemen, best of luck to both of you, and we'll see you shortly. Man, that's danger territory.
I think what Pupil was saying is shave it off and send it to me so that I can have.
Oh, that's definitely
clearly
what he was going for.
Hey, you know what? You can send it to me. I got a hole or two in my beard I can fill with it. That'd be great. Aquatic M60s and Eclipse. There's the screen right here. I don't think we really need to cover the roster in detail at this point.
We're halfway through the season.
If you don't know them, look them up on fantasywgl.com.
Yeah.
Aquatic M60s, Steps, Eclipse, Prokhorovka, both like the 140. And both their teams' best players start with M, I guess. I don't know. I was looking for something there. They both have 1 win recently, 2 losses. Hey, similarities all over the place.
I was say a lot of these teams very similar.
Mr. Man 58 and Master Pupil, guys to look out for on those 2 teams for sure. Also for Eclipse, I go with Draw Cap, and for and perhaps T1 Diabetic or Tigers. They got a lot of talent on that team.
Yeah. One question I asked is when we see teams that are pretty similar tank styles, similar map styles, similar kind of season
They're
story.
very similar teams, which is why I like this match. I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays out and how well they do against one another. Kind of elaborating a little bit more when they're talking about the Ghost Town thing.
Yeah.
We're feeling pretty confident about it on attack. You know, I don't know how it works on their team, but this is how it works on a lot of teams. Is you can convince your whole team as the caller that this is a great strat, that it's going to work. You got to hit this point and this point, everything's going to work.
Solid.
And everybody's stoked about it. They're like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
it's-
let's do it. And then you do it, and something happens, and you fail. And then all of a sudden, everyone else in the team is like, see, I knew that was a bad idea.
You're like,
We
"No,
shouldn't have done it.
guys,
It's
you
like, guys,
backed me.
guys, come on now.
Man, all
But
piranhas.
in this instance, yeah, I mean, like you said, in E3, basically, where only is cupola, which is like the hatch, basically, is showing. That's
Terrifying
not
place
gonna
to be in.
penetrate that very
Well,
often.
we'll see if we're going to go to that tonight. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be on Ruinberg, Aquatic M60s versus eClipse. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Aquatic M60s with a 50B, a 215, an E5, an Object 140, two T22s, RU251, Eclipse with 250Bs, two 215s, an E5, a Bat Chat, and RU251.
Ruinberg. Good to see you again, my old friend.
Indeed. Oh, wait. Morphic?
Oh.
Hello?
TC? Oh, he's back.
I don't know if that's on purpose or not. A little bit confusing at the time. Either way,
Stop there.
getting definitely distracted by a stopping RU251. May have something to do with timing. Maybe he wants to tuck in behind these mediums, and that's why. In which case, great timing job, because he's fitting right into the formation, nice and protected. I'm going to go ahead and say and assume that's exactly what they were trying to do. All four of these mediums driving directly into crossfire.
Carl's going to be able to get a lot of damage here on Veggie from the back. There's a shot. Dropcap's going to finish him up there, and one tank already falling for Aquatic M60s. The rest of Aquatic going to continue to push up through the north, but they're going to take damage every single inch they take. 1,100 points going on to Morphic. Carl now on the reload. Man, if he had one more shot, he could be able to take him down. Doesn't matter. T1 Diabetic's going to come in and take him down in his E5, and that is now two tanks fallen for the offensive team here. Redux and Felix are starting to apply cap pressure. 45 seconds. Flesh, though, taking a lot of damage. Master Pupil just having all the time is left to be able to light him up there. Draw cap, taking down Flesh. 1,000 damage are going back onto him in that 50B. It looks like he's going to get out of there just in the nick of time. 1,200 points going on to Mr. Man. 3 tanks remaining for Aquatic M60s, and this looks like it's going to be Eclipse's game. No problem. Carl is up and loaded. 2 shots going to Redux. A lot of damage going to Felix there. One more, and he's going to go down. Master Pupil picking him that one. And just, just Shapeshifter. Where's Shapeshifter at? Just Shapeshifter remains in that 50B. It's him against the world, as all 7 members of Eclipse are still up.
Well, that was brutal.
Yeah, that happened.
Indeed. Bubble Boy Carl going to a great spot with a bat shot. I don't know if Eclipse just knew that Aquatic M60s was going to do this, because they went there with before them, right off the bat, right at the beginning of the match, they started going.
Yep. Congratulations there to Eclipse, picking up the first victory of our 3rd match of the night. And yeah, like you said, I mean, right at the beginning, generally we see the defensive team send some guys over to Delta Village, some guys, you know, go way over down to the north or the southeastern part of the map. But Eclipse, like, we have a good inclination that they're going to go here. Is that a huge risky play? I mean, if they do?
No. The only issue you have there is timing to the Delta Village area. As long as you send tanks there long enough to hold, your opponent isn't going to know that you don't have your full enforcement at Delta Village. So you can send an RU-251 to kind of scout the south, and basically it's not a bad flex, is what I'm getting at too.
Gotcha.
Not a bad initial flex, and you can rotate back if you see certain things or don't see certain things.
Sure.
So perhaps it's just a comprehensive strategy, or perhaps they knew exactly, had a good idea of what AM60s was going to do. These teams do practice each other all the time, so people do get a good inkling of kind of what the opponent's going to do.
Sure. And we also talked about that, was it Tuesday, about the difference between practicing NA teams, practicing E teams. You kind of want to keep your secrets, you know, keep your secrets safe. But if you practice an A team enough, it just naturally be so hard to like hold back on what you would normally do.
Yep. We don't have time to go to the stats right now, but Tigers with 28-29, Bubble Bakar with 25-83, T1 Diabetic 21-73, Draw Cap with 21-34.
Wow. A lot of damage there for those top.
Pupil 1605, Mort 1556.
Killing it right there.
Had to read it all the way to Pupil because a lot of people probably have them.
Dark Out's the only one, kind of dropping below. But
He was
a
already
scout.
251.
He was already 251. He's doing a fantastic job. So looking at that, a fantastic play coming out there for eClipse. We're getting ready to go into the next battle, ladies and gentlemen. Switching sides. Let's see if eClipse can continue their victories, or will Aquatic start coming back? Start coming back, man. It's only been one battle. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks. I'm still hooked on that last battle.
M60 with a 2152 E5s, a 140, a T22, a WE100, and an RU251. eClipse with a 50B, 2215s, nice 7, 2 bat chats, and an AMX CDC.
Whoa. What is that?
It's a French premium tank that's pretty great
Okay.
in a lot of ways,
Except?
against tier 10s, kind of. I mean, it's a tier
Oh.
8. It's made of metallic paper, essentially. It's not hard to penetrate. It's got an okay gun. I'll give it. It's got a pretty great gun.
Okay.
For being a premium tank in particular, oftentimes premium tanks have pretty bad guns.
Okay.
Because they can't make them overpowered, you
Sure.
know.
Because then people buy
Because
them
then it's
and
pay to win. And they do a very good job of making sure that's not the case most of the time. It's like the IS-6, for example, has probably the gun I hate the most in the entire world. Other people don't have that problem for some reason. Because some of my old teammates could just right-click and left-click, and they'd hit everything, and then I'd aim all day, and it would just miss.
Why?
I don't know, man. But either way, Tiger's coming in here. He's going to run smack dab into 2 mediums. He's got a little bit of backup. Tiger's going to go down first.
Getting lit up there. Darko's in, coming to block some shots. Let's see if that Batchat can gather alive. Flesh is going to take him out in that 140. And now Darkon Sim is the next one to go down. Shapeshifter. Beautiful focus fire coming out from the Delta Village on the side of Aquatic. Now Mort goes down.
Look at that.
One
Cover.
after another after another. There's 3 tanks already gone for eClipse.
Veggie being wrapped in the loving embrace of flesh to keep him alive.
It sounds.
I know how it sounds.
Are all human beings?
I know how it sounds. That's a very important part to
important
staying
part
alive.
to living.
Is to contain yourself.
It's great to have flesh on a team.
This is getting out of hand.
Master pupil.
M60s. All I could say about that, what happened there with eClipse, was that didn't work
Nope.
at all.
And they know it
3
now.
of the weakest armored tanks into the #1 place you're going to get a crossfire. I don't necessarily understand. I'm guessing the CDC went with them to be the shield, to take that damage so the Batchats could line
Okay.
up behind it.
Okay.
And it just didn't play out that way at all. That's my guess, because that's genuinely the only thing I can think of that makes any sense whatsoever. And if they were actually attempting anything else, we don't want to know it. eClipse is pretty good, so I'm not going to assume that they did that on accident in any way.
All
or
right.
just didn't know what they were doing.
Sure.
They clearly did. Didn't work out.
Aquatic M60s now just coming to finish them off. They know they have a huge HP advantage, tank advantage. They're going to find Master People there. Veggie picks up there. Carl finding the kill. Take it down to E5. Felix taking down Carl in response. Drop cab will be going down to Mr. Man, and then it's just T1 Diabetic. Put on that cap pressure. I mean, he's going to make them work for this victory here. That 50B, let all of his shots go. He is on reload here.
Just 80 seconds away from a cap. T1 Diabetic.
Keep talking. I was going to add some like mood music.
I think they have. I think there already is mood music being played very subtly in the background.
Oh, dang. All right, I'm going to add ambiance and suspension then. Morphic coming on the side, lights him up,
Saying
takes the
had to.
shot. On the run, doesn't quite hit. Tear Diabetic, like, you know what, you want to shoot me, RU251? You want to shoot me? He's going to come back. One shot, 435 going to Morphic. The second shot, 858. Let's see if Aquatic can save him before he goes down. No, T1 Diabetic does take Morphic down. Well, with Felix taking down that 50B, that is going to be Aquatic tying it up now 1-1 here onto Ruinberg. Third match of the night. So the AMX CDC, that's what it's called?
Yeah.
So is it obviously it's a relatively quick tank. It kept up with the other other tanks.
It's fast. It's got good depression, especially for a French tank. And well, I guess that's not true. Some of the like the AMX 30s and whatnot, they have pretty decent depression as well. Whatever, arguing with myself. It's a great tank. I love it as a premium. It's one of my favorite premiums.
Okay.
But to bring in a WGLNA, it had to have been a shield.
Right.
If it wasn't a shield, it's a terrible
Well,
idea.
that's what I'm saying. I mean, the idea of is it size? Is it longer than some tanks? Is it taller?
It's fairly big, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, the Batchats probably could have hidden
So it's
behind
big
it.
and it's fast.
I don't think I've ever actually put a CDC next to a Batchat and compared, but I think the CDC is large enough to block the Batchats. And that would have been an interesting play. It's fast enough to
Right.
keep up with them.
Right.
Other than that, it's got a pretty good gun and can do damage to tier 10 somewhat reliably. And but it's just other tanks are better. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Maybe we can quickly squeeze in his stats.
Let's do it.
Quickly. Mr. Man with 34.26, Felix with 30.18, Flesh with 22.84, and T1 Diabetic with 27.30.
There it is, guys. That is for you and all your fantasy points. See who to kind of keep an eye out, keep a look for. Then, if that was the case, I've never seen that strat played. I've never seen you bring a shield on offense to go down to the southeastern corner, big some bat chats and cover them for them. Assume they got to that position, right? Assume that they do have a shield there to sit behind and they can fire up to the Delta Village. That's still 3 tanks that you're sacrificing to that position. I feel like that would just give the enemy team another opportunity to go out, rotate other places. I don't know, and I'm not super great at theory crafting, so let's get into the next battle as it's all tied up 1-1 here. Switching back sides, eClipse on defense. Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
You're not wrong. Put it that way. You're not wrong. We could debate about the degree of which you are right, but you're not wrong.
That sounds great.
Yeah. Well, let's go for a rousing debate of semantics. It's like, well, I think you'll only find that group of people in a law school or perhaps a government office. AM60s with a 50B, a 215, an E5, 142 T22s, RE251, Eclipse with 250Bs, 2215s, an E5, a Batchat, and RE251 of their own.
All right, here. Now Eclipse not doing, I should say not going as aggressively as they did last time over to the northern cap. Sending a couple members over there, putting a lot more in Delta Village this time as we typically see, and it looks like it's a good call as Aquatic M60s is not going for the north. They're heading over to the east. Morphic doing a nice little scouting run here. Now let's talk about the scouts for this map. Again, it's so awesome pointing out to me the idea of, you send a scout first to scout out ahead, and then once he's done that, he kind of peels off and then goes and scouts out for flanks. The flank here obviously going to be the one coming from the city. Mr. Man taking a little bit of damage there. Now, a lot of damage, 470 there, dropping just about half health in that T22. But anyway, back to Morphic and what he's doing. On bigger maps, is that more of a risk that you're just willing to take? The separation for your scout looking for a flank? Because if a fight does break out?
Very important. Morphic's job is very important right now. I would change to make sure we can see it, but there is a little bit of action coming out here. If you take a quick peek at the mini-map, he is there around G1, watching what is called the spokes, or what I call the spokes. He now spotted a 50B in a Batchat coming in behind his 50B, which gives Aquatic the information they need to push onto Eclipse.
So they're going to do that right now. Drawcap being their focus. Set 979. They're going to that 50B. Mr. Man having to be careful, having to back around, but Redux is going to take down the first tank of the match, and that is on the side of Eclipse. Let's see if the rest of Eclipse can get there in time, or will Aquatic be able to find more and more tanks. Flash taking some damage there. Master People going to take him down, and Carl finds Shapeshifter. That is 2 tanks now gone for Aquatic M60s. Delta Village, though, is over on the side of Aquatic as they have pushed Eclipse out. But the rest of Eclipse now coming from the city, being chased by Morphic from behind, taking some shots there from the back. Mr. Man 441 in his T22, having to back off there to be careful. Felix finds Mort, tying it up now with 5 tanks on the side of Aquatic against 5 for Eclipse. 831 going into Redux. Tigers taking down Morphic, but Redux finds T1 Diabetic in response. The seesaw, the teeter-totter, if you will, going back and forth here very evenly before both of these teams as Master People takes down Mr. Man 313, 690 going to Carl. He is on the run here from Delta Village because Aquatic M60s have it locked down. Eclipse, though, over 2,000 points of HP in the lead, and they are a tank up. So Aquatic M60s looking not so great as they just did as they're pushing into Delta Village there. Looks like Eclipse just got there in time, and Morphic did go down, the scout for Aquatic M60s while that was all going through. A nice shot there from Dark God Zim, taking Redux out. Takes a shot there from Veggie in the meantime, but totally fine. And looks like this is it. Eclipse might just be able to push in on here or just wait.
Pretty much. Dark God's him getting a few shots down the 0 line there. Eclipse just pushing him in slowly, getting a couple extra shots in, waiting for Tigers pretty much to close the distance. He's got enough hit points, he can pretty much go straight in. No real chance for them to kill him at this point, but they're doing it the disciplined way, the right way. And it's just Veggie left for a few more seconds here at most.
Can't go that way, Tigers. You don't have enough room. But it doesn't matter. Carl's going to take him down.
Enough room for his ships.
That is going to be Eclipse with their second victory now. So what really happened there? Because Aquatic M60s did have the overmatch once their scout found the rest of the 2 members of Eclipse in the city, so they did push over and they got an early pick. Was it just they didn't continue? Did they take that pick and back off? Did you see what kind of happened with them there?
Let's go to statistics while I try and figure out how to explain it.
Sure.
Or really, honestly, to make up my mind about what did happen there.
Okay.
Because a couple things happened there, and I'm not entirely sure how that result came to be. This does explain a little bit. Tiger's getting in that much damage from where he was. 3,086. Master Pupil with 3,541. Draw Cab with 2,000. And then over here, just Felix 7, breaking 2,000. Although Veggie was close and Redux right behind him. So there was some bad shooting. Actually, it looks like they're all almost penning all of their shots. That's interesting. They shot fine. So it looks like really mostly autoloaders. I mean, a bad shot and another 50B advantage for the autoloaders. When they came in there, they were able to wipe out the one autoloader that AM60s had. It was in the F road. And the spot that went down to see the bad shot in the 50B, which I believe one of the 50Bs was Tigers, and the 50B that came down the west side was Tigers, and he was with Bubble Boy Carl. They were easily able to pick up that 50B that was in the middle, which then gives an autoloader advantage as Tigers is putting in more and more clips as the game goes on. But it looked like it was already starting to go bad for AM60s as they were pushing through.
Huh. Interesting.
Focus fire, maybe?
Not really.
A lot happened at the same time. So
quite sure what happened there, but great job for Eclipse for finding out what to do and doing it. They are now up 2-1 against Aquatic M60s. Our next battle is ready. Can Aquatic tie it up, or will Eclipse make it 3-1? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
4 AM60s, a 215, 2 E5s, 140, a T22, a WE100, and an RU251 for Eclipse, 2 215s, an IS-7, a Batshot, a 140, a TVP, and an RU251.
All right, looks like they have dropped the AMX and decided to go for a more kind of standard lineup here. Not quite happy with the outcome of last one. Just sending Mort here by himself in that Batshot down in the south. The RU251 being driven by Dark Odd Zim scouting up the center. See if he finds anyone. Looks like he might be spotting out Morphic there, or is that no? That's the 50-51. That's T1 Diabetic finding him over in the north. But putting that cap pressure on there is Dark Odd Zim, the RU251, starting to draw some attention from Aquatic M60s. Oh, now back and right off. And David, how successful would that work? Putting a cap pressure on with one member for long enough. Do you trick a team by thinking that you're going that way? Is that pretty easy to do?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it depends on what exactly you mean. Trick a team into thinking you're sending a lot of your tanks over there, or just tricking a team into thinking you care about that cap?
Like tricking a team to like pull more of the resources that way, giving you the opportunity to fast cap on the north.
Sure, it's fairly easy, but it's not necessarily a trick. They have to address it, and they need to address it in force.
Sure.
Unless they know where the rest of your tanks are.
Sure.
And if they do, then they won't send enough the other direction to really bias against you.
Okay.
What Eclipse is doing here is they have 3 tanks perfectly hidden that AM60s don't know where they are. Now 215s are showing up. So this is more of a trick. They are demonstrating that they have a lot of tanks over here and a lot of concern about this place. Well, they could have gotten on cap, but they just brought the 140 out. That may actually help, and they could go on cap with everybody else. Maybe. I'm not sure if the split cap is really what their objective is here. But it's open, probably far more open than Eclipse would ever expect.
All right, well, let's see if they kind of capitalize on that as they are moving the IS-7, the 50-51 in the north toward the northern cap here. As Drock Cap is taking some attention. And again, the more I see his name, the more we talk about it, the more I learn. It's backward. I'm sure
Backwards.
I'm sure people have known this forever, but
Yeah.
man, that's pretty sweet.
It's a pretty great name. The 2 guys from Eclipse, we can show them. Bubble Boy Carl. At T1 Diabetic, they're going to go around cap to make sure that they're not under threat here. Morphic is actually dropping back for AM60s, probably to assess risk, as not a whole lot of action has happened in the south, which kind of starts making AM60s a little bit curious. as to why that is. And eClipse not taking advantage of the cap that they have, pushing Bubble Boy Carl further up the A line to try and get shots in behind maybe, or to verify just how clear this is for their cap pressure.
Okay.
I guarantee you, though, if eClipse had been able to see what we were able to see before, with the 3 tanks in the north and absolutely nobody there to even spot them, they would have put all 3 of them on cap. It's one of the few times that I will look at a cap situation and say, oh, absolutely cap them
That's
out,
what you should
and go for the cap. Don't
Gotcha.
just shoot them on the way back. Go for the cap here. Because the timing of it, to get back from Delta Village in 30 seconds across the fire of 2 215s
Not easy.
and a 140, not easy is an understatement. It's almost impossible unless the other team just completely blows it.
Well, it looks like they're doing exactly what you said, sending the RU-251 up here as they know the cap is safe to start applying the cap pressure directly, but this has given time Aquatic M60s to send a couple of their members back over here to the north. We do have Morphic there again. And right off screen, as you guys are about to see, is Flesh in the 140. Now they know that northern cap is of importance to eClipse. Let's see what Aquatic's response is going to be. 88 seconds here, and Master Pupil taking some shots. Now, Aquatic M60s, do they have enough time to just barrel over? I mean, if I saw this eClipse, a very aggressive push, I would send my tanks back and start applying some more cap pressure as Shapeshifter, Redux, and Felix are all pushing over the western cap straight into the 2-5Bs of eClipse. Let's see how eClipse can handle this as 34 seconds on the clock. There it is. They brought the 50-51 back. They're putting even more cap pressure. And now it seems that even if Aquatic wins this battle over here, they're not going to have enough time to go back and get the resets. It might just be too narrow or too tunnel visioned right now, as Morphic, though, is trying to get past Tigers. He might be able to get back there. No, Mr. Man, no, he does. He picks up Tigers in that 140. Flesh is going over. 15 seconds on the clock here. It looks like it's going to be up to Flesh in that 140 to get over here in time. Bellboy Carl is going to be it. That's right. The RU-251 coming out from behind. 7 seconds now on the clock. Flesh full speed ahead, running through. Morphic is spotted, though. He's going to go around. The shot goes through. They both hit it, and they both get the resets there. Felix takes down Drawcap. T1 Diabetic does find Flesh, though. 6 tanks still alive for Aquatic M60s against just a 4. Now for eClipse, the cap pressure has been neutralized. eClipse have decided to abandon it altogether. Mort does pick up a kill there, making it now 5-4. And Dark Zim gonna start applying the pressure again. But Aquatic M60s now has the time to get over, get themselves set up. It'll be interesting to see who comes out on top here. David, who would you rather be right now?
Right now, it's certainly in the advantage of AM60s, but they are diminishing quite a bit here. Shapeshifter's taking a lot of fire. Mr. Man is a huge threat. However, if he gets a good angle, he will ruin what is left of eClipse. But if eClipse fights this corner well, they're still in business.
All right, we'll see if they can hold this one off. 2 minutes are on the clock here. If eClipse doesn't find a victory, Aquatic M60s, it will be. There's Carl picking up Mr. Man. That is a threat now gone. Veggie does find Dark God Zim. Shapeshifter now moving in on that IS-7 in his E5. Let's see if he can find up Carl, or will he? No, Carl will take him down, load it up just in time, and the turnaround. eClipse now tying it up 3-3. As not on score, but as far as tanks go, T1 Diabetic now fighting Redux and Felix. Felix is extremely low. One more shot, he'll be going down. There it is, T1 Diabetic picks him up. Mort just trying to get out of there. Veggie will have a shot up, and he should be able to take him down. And now it is just 2-on-2. T1 Diabetic and Carl for eClipse against Redux and Veggie for Aquatic M60s. A minute and 19 seconds on the clock. T1 Diabetic is on reload. He has to get out of there. He's just trying to find a corner. He's not going to find it in time. And that looks like that might have been the only hope that eClipse had. It is just Carl in the I-7 with 45 points of HP. Veggie very easily can just run. And this looks like it's going to be Aquatic M60s tying it up 2-2 against eClipse here on Rubenberg.
Like I said, getting back to the cap under fire of 2 215s in 30 seconds is virtually impossible. However, if there's no 215s, not so hard anymore.
And there we have it. Aquatic M60s picking up and tying it up. They're now 2-2. We're done with Rubenberg. I'm excited to see what will be coming next. One of the things that actually I was really excited to see was the RU-251, Darka Zim, I think it was coming around the corner for Aquatic M60s, and he got through the city, and he almost didn't. I mean, they almost took him down right there, and if that threat from behind didn't come and get the resets from the back, yes, they still have the tank coming over the north, but that got close. I mean, it got very, very closer for Eclipse.
Indeed. Let's check out statistics while we can, because we're coming up on a map change.
Woo!
Felix 7, 34.50 in his 2.15. Veggie with 32.31 in his T22, and some nice play there at the end to keep things together. Shapeshifter with 23.98 in his E5. For Eclipse, 21.40 from T1 Diabetic. 20.63 out of Master Pupil. Bubble Boy Carl with 18.84. And Draw Cab down at 16.27. I say down, but that's kind of our threshold, like baseline number, you know?
The 1,500 mark is
I'd
what we
say
kind
a
of talked
solid
about.
point earner earns about 2,000 a game.
Okay.
That's what it
As we've
seems to be.
seen.
That's like your photo finish.
All right, so that's the one you got. So 2,000, that's kind of the benchmark for a solid, consistent play.
Or as Tim, our interior designer, pointed out,
Yeah.
it is. It's also Blue Voice for high voltage.
Yeah, he usually always picks him on the team. And tonight, Blue Boys did a fantastic job, but a lot of people kind of maybe removed him because of maybe potential internet issues. Didn't matter to him. This is interesting.
Not
We are
comfortable
going
with that kind of risk, Christian.
we are going to be going into Himmelsdorf, which Master Pupil said this is his favorite map to scout on.
I've been hurt before. It
Yeah.
takes a lot for me to
Healing.
trust.
Yeah, the healing does take a while
the
here.
internets.
Well, I don't know if you can you ever trust the internet?
No.
Yeah, never can trust the internet, guys. We're going to learn something tonight. Can't trust the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all tied up now, 2-2, moving into Himmelsdorf. Let's see who will find the first victory on this map. Will it be Eclipse, or will it be Aquatic M60s? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
AM60 with a 50B, 2215s, a T22, an E3, an E75, and a WZ111 1-4. Eclipse with a 50B, 2215s, two i7s, an E3, and an RE251 on the Himmelsdorf. With AM60s on defense first, tied up 2-2, going into Game 5 out of a potential maximum of 9.
We talked about how these teams are both very similar. This is kind of what you like seeing. Two similar teams kind of facing off against each other. Who will kind of come out on top? Very even so far. David, one tank that we don't see a lot is the 111 1-4. Mr. Man is driving. What is that? Is that a scout as well? Is he going to be scouting that tank?
No.
Because it's usually the only reason I say that, right, is it's on the bottom of the list. And usually you see tanks at the bottom of the list scout.
Fair enough.
But now that I see
Fair
it,
enough.
I totally see why it's not scouting.
Well, hey, if you go by Master Pupil's definition, it's a scout.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Morphic over here in the E75. Both of these are Tier 9 tanks. WZ111 is the Chinese, and the E75 here is the German one. The German one's better.
Okay.
That's it. The German one's better.
Hands down.
Not entirely sure why they're bringing the 1.4. Maybe it has a particular purpose. Maybe it's just nice in coordination with the E75. And in many ways, it does kind of fit into the armor pattern of the E75 in a way that makes the unit of them better. Veggie with this spot, huh? Tigers sending 3, now 4, with no real connection. Well, so maybe the T22 is better for it than the i7 because it's lower. I don't feel like that can be true. I feel like Tigers didn't get a good spot on him, and then after that, just missed his shots. But now that Mort's up there, Veggie really needs to reassess his path in life, as it's not going to last very much longer here.
Okay.
Perhaps send a letter to his parents. Mort, missing that one. Somebody just needs to spot Veggie, and his life is pretty much over. It looks like Bubble Carl is trying to find that angle to get it done. Right here.
Oh, there
it
it
goes.
is.
He's lit. Now Mort sees exactly where he needs to shoot, and it's the dirt.
Is the rubble. Yeah, that doesn't make sense. I can't really find an argument for that. I was thinking if it was dirt, you can shoot possibly through it if you skim the top, but not in this game.
Nope. That is a super indestructible pile of rubble, as opposed to the destructible piles of rubble. There we go. 416 and HE directly in the face.
Wow.
That should let you know.
To the
this
face.
is as safe as you might have thought it was. Oh, 407 coming out of Tigers. If he can hit a couple more of those penetrating shots on the side of the turret, they are in business. There's one bounce, though. One more penetration will make that clip absolutely worth it. Though, one single shot. There he goes.
528.
That had to have been Mort there with a 528
Oh
and an
my
HE shot.
gosh.
And it looks like Tigers bounced his last shot, but hey, penetrating one out of those is worth. We covered this before. This is why I don't really like the position. as it's just kind of a slow way to die here. And Aquatic M60s is not using this time to do something else, to engage on the 8 line. And that's not even a figure of speech. They're literally doing nothing at this point in time, which is something that happens when you look at a strategy and you say, we'll do this, they'll have to do this, this, or this, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh,
we missed that.
They'll just kill that guy. And now what do we do? So you sit around, you kind of figure out what to do during that period of time, and you talk about it, and nothing really happens during that period of time. That's really all there is to it.
All right, so Veggie going down there already in that T22 for nothing. Not even a scratch done to Eclipse here. On top of the hill, we got Tigers in that 50B. Looks like they're sending Mort back down to reposition him somewhere else. Felix getting spotted out there, I believe, by the RE251, driven by Dark Odds, again, doing a great job scouting as well. And David, you know, kind of on the topic of scouting, talking about the differences between passive and active scouts again. There's a mix of both.
Hold on.
Sure.
What is shooting Felix?
It's Dark Odds. He's been doing this all. He's been doing all battle. He's been the whole damage onto Felix.
Really?
Yeah, he's been killing it.
It took him down half?
He's been
a
killing
50B
it.
versus an RU251. And you're telling me that the RU251 has taken down Felix half?
I think yes. Yeah.
I could have sworn it. I thought that Tigers was doing some crazy shooting from the top of the hill, because there actually is that angle. If you see this this camera here,
Oh, wow.
right there is the top of the hill where the 50B would sit, and it can fire down into here. But apparently that's not what was happening. Okay, sorry. So what were you saying before that? Before I interrupted?
No, it's fine. It is pretty perplexing indeed. I was talking about the active and passive scouting, but we have not had time to talk about that as a double cap is going out onto the side of Eclipse. Going to start splitting Aquatic to deal with one or the other. Looks like they're going to go start dealing with the north first. IS-7 driven by Carl is just sitting on the corner. A little bit of damage there going on to Flesh in his 5B. And now as Mr. Man turns the corner, he is getting lit up. 13-16 going into him. Flesh going to start blocking for that damage there to try to shift that HP. Shapeshifter taking a lot as well. Felix now has gone to take on the Dark God Zim here. But meanwhile, in the doors, Flesh getting zoom reload. 13-24. Tigers picking him up there in the 50B. And that is the second tank falling for Aquatic M60. The HP gap insane between both these teams. Eclipse definitely has this one in the bag as T1 Diabag takes down Shapeshifter with just 3 tanks remaining. Dark God Zim is still alive with Felix. Morphic going head-to-head now with Drock being backed up by Redux. Tigers coming around the corner when he comes. And there's going to be a little bit of help there. Morphic 342 going to him. 1 or 2 more shots in that E5. He'll be going down, but it looks like Redux is going to go down first. A beautiful pickup there. 363 going to him. The E75 is going down. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of a do-si-do here between Dark God Zim and Felix. It's been going on the entire time the Northern Cap was under contention. 25 seconds on the clock. 405 going to him. Dark God Zim. Whoa, 741. Get around the corner, Dark God Zim, or you are going to be going down. And Felix, hungry, he wants to take down this RE251 who's done him such harm this entire battle. Oh, the last shot, and now Dark God Zim
could kill him.
has an opportunity
Just don't get rammed.
as Tigers is going up. There's 268 going on him. Let's see if he can do it in the 8 seconds that are left. That's a second shot going through. 263.
Don't you touch it, Tigers.
Tigers, you give this to Dark God Zim. There it is.
At least you got the
RU251 going through, and that is going to be Eclipse.
Rude.
With now their third
Tigers.
victory, taking the lead.
Rude.
I know, come on. That's what we're talking about. Like, the game's over. You have this opportunity to give your teammate kind of the victory of taking down a huge tank. I'm telling you, Dark God Zim in the RE251, he was spotting out Felix and was able to just clip damage on him as he was trying to move back into that hangar without being spotted, and just kept doing it and doing it and doing it over and over and over again. I can't wait to get into stats to see what we've got.
Let's do it.
Let's go into stats.
Starting off with Drawcab, 3570 and an FT215B. Tigers right behind him with 2996. A little bit of padding there at the end for himself. Tigers.
Come on, Tigers.
Come on, Tigers. Mort with 2208. T1 Diabetic with 1947. Etc., etc. And then you get all the way down here to Dark God Zim, 1680. Yeah, you were right.
Killing it. Killing
You were right. Not only did he kill it, but he tied it up the whole fight, which is the only 50B out of the fight. It did 1146 and three hits, 3 shots. All of that was to Dark God Zim?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah, that's a rough,
Good trade.
rough match for AM60. lose a T22, essentially lose a 50B, all
Already
for
out of the fight.
nothing.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically it. As we're going to talk about what would you do in the first place? Just don't not that.
Yeah, I mean, Christian, what would you do if you were in AM60 situation
Now, David,
and you were in a double cap and you'd already lost a T22?
David, you know I don't like answering these questions. I like to, I mean, there could be so many different possibilities, but I would just probably not do what they did.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right, Christian.
All right, ready for some suspension? Ladies and gentlemen, it is now eClipse up 3-2 against Aquatic M60s. Let's get right into the battle. Let's see if Aquatic M60s can tie it up or if eClipse will continue their victory. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
AM60s with a 50B, 2215s, an IS4, an IS7, an E75, and a WZ111 1-4. eClipse with a 50B, 2215s, two IS7s, a Waffle 100, and an RU 251.
Okay. Well, last time, Aquatic M60s. Wait, what are you talking about last time? This is the first time we've seen him. The 1-4. Did eClipse bring that last time? I just asked you about this tank, and now I'm.
AM60s brought it last time.
Okay. Okay.
On defense, yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Oh,
same.
man. I was like, this is not deja vu. I am not a
Nope.
fortune teller.
Nope.
All right, here. So eClipse now on defense, spreading out. Heading pretty split, sending some to the north, some to the south. That Waffle going over on the 1-2 line.
Look at that line.
Oof.
Bang. Hit nobody.
Where's that head? Where was that headed?
Looks like maybe they were trying to squeak it through the building, through kind of the rubble piles into Dark God Zim.
Okay.
Maybe? I mean, he was spotted. I don't know if that. I don't think that. No. He would have had to been here. Oh.
Oh, that's scary.
Little buddy.
Oh, that's scary.
You are flirting with disaster.
He spotted
right
them all,
now.
though. So now eClipse has a good idea where Mr. Man, Flesh, and Veggie are. Question is, where is the rest also? Looks like being spotted out. Now Mort for the side of Aquatic, or for the side of eClipse. Redux taking 374 in damage. A pretty aggressive push coming up for eClipse, and it looks like we're going to see a fight down here in the southeastern corner. Again, a part of the map on Himmelsdorf we don't really see a lot of fights. eClipse being very aggressive, but the AM60s probably wisely backing off here, heading up the hill. Now, at what cost really is this to eClipse? I mean, you got a little bit of damage, you took a little bit, not too much. You have now forced Aquatic to go up the hill where you know where they're going to be.
Yep, great situation for them. They now own 80% of the map. 8-line west, all theirs.
8-line west all day. Felix in that 50B, up on top there for Aquatic M60, just kind of sitting, seeing what he can see. Dark Odds in being sent back around here in that RU251. On top of the hill, David, is a place that we don't usually see fights, right? We don't usually see the defensive team rush up there.
Not now. In the past, all the time.
Really?
But the spawns are different now.
Attack defense.
And attack defense, yeah. So, no, not really anymore.
Okay. Because I mean, in public matches, the hill is a huge fight, right? Everyone like, goes for the hill, but again, there's two caps there.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
So, but
Public matches on Himmelsdorf are really awkward a lot of the time. It has a lot to do with lineup stuff. You end up with it when one team has 8 mediums, and you pretty much just know you're going to lose.
Gotcha. Just kind of where I was kind of going with that is they were sending Dark Odds Zim around, and I was wondering how safe it would be for him to kind of go up toward the top of the hill, like where the halfway point for him to like get that spot. I mean, RT51 pretty quick, going downhill pretty quick. If he was able to kind of poke up and get those, would he be able to get down and around the corner in time?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you talking about right about here?
Yes.
Like
if you were to come up right there, just to get the spot, not where they are now.
With the lineup that AM60s has, I'm going to say yes, it's possible. Assuming that AM60s drove straight down this road instead of around the front of the castle area.
Okay.
But yeah, he should be able to.
All right. We'll see. That did not happen. What's happening right now, that was Aquatic is bringing all their members down the hill very aggressively going through. Veggie's going to be the first one to find Drawcap Master People. He's getting lit up. 418, though, runs into a wall. Not a good place to run if you're trying to get away there. But he does get out there safely. Flesh now taking some damage. 394 going to Shapeshifter. Over 1,300 there going into Flesh in that IS4. And here comes a fight. Aquatic M60s is looking to take down any member of eClipse that they can. And their turrets are all turned to Drawcap there. 1374 going into him. Who will go down first? It's going to be Drawcab going down to Morphic. One tank falling for Eclipse, but Shapeshifter should be going down. Master of Pupil has his shot up. He's looking to take it. The shot, though, not connecting on a Shapeshifter. Oh, that's going to be terrible for them. Shapeshifter picking up Master of Pupil. Now 2 tanks falling. Here comes the rest of Eclipse coming to join the battle. Wow, 1699 going into Veggie. T1 Diabetic is going to finish him off there. Shapeshifter looks like he's going to be next to go down. Mort, though, getting picked up by Redux in that 5B. There's an IS-7 now dropping for Eclipse. 4 members on the side of Eclipse against 6 for AM60s. It's looking good for them right now. Carl trying to change that, taking down Shapeshifter there in that 5B. T1 Diabetic, the 100 on the reload, just barely below half there. Both in HP now. And as far as the reload goes, Dark God Zim taking a good chunk of damage, and then RE251. Now Flesh gonna go down to Tigers, but Morphing taking down Carl. The trade's going back and forth here by Eclipse, doing a pretty good job coming back there. Now 3 tanks to Aquatic's 4. Oh, T1 Diabetic, once he is loaded, this could be some trouble for Aquatic, but he's got to be careful. He is only at half health. He is now spotted out. Morphic turning his turret, not
Shot
quite
fired.
reloaded
He's got the
yet.
window.
There it is, 568 going into. There's 1 shot going into Morphic. Here comes the second shot, the E75 going down 2 more. He's going to find Redux as he comes around the corner. No, he gets around just in time, but Redux is going to start pinstering away, and Felix is going to turn and take him down. That's 1 shot going into him. Here comes the second for 1,000. Not going to be enough. T1 Diabetic is going to go down, but he did do a good chunk of damage there to the remaining members of Aquatic M60s. Mr. Man is full health there, and they are starting to apply cap pressure. It's going to be up to Eclipse to send their members back. Tiger is taking a shot there, 374 from Felix. Dark God Zim being sent to come deal with him. Not looking good right now for Eclipse.
Not looking good indeed. Tigers and Dark God Zim have essentially no chance.
All right. The autoloader of the 50B, Dark God Zim below half health. 20 seconds on the clock here, and it looks like Aquatic M60s is going to pick up this victory. They have sent Redux off just to give, Eclipse a fighting chance here. Putting him back on, dropping him back to the 20s, and here comes the turnaround for Eclipse. Comes around the corner, 1 shot goes into Redux. Dark God Zim going to follow it up. Tiger's actually taking him down. Dark God Zim shot kind of wasted there. Felix taking down that 50B with a 50B of his own. Now Dark God Zim, it is his time to shine. He has 1 minute and 40 seconds. The stalls came out, but what's about to stop him is going to be Felix in that 50B. 1 shot from behind, and Felix is going to finish him off there. Aquatic M60s is now going to tie it up 3-3 against Eclipse in our 3rd match of the night. Now, such a strong start for Eclipse there. I mean, very aggressive, great map control like you were talking about. I control 80% of the map. They all got in the corner. They knew where Aquatic was going to go. What didn't they do that they could have done to kind of capitalize on that? I mean, if you're going to assume that the enemy team is going to barrel down over the northern cap, usually we see a lot of members getting ready there from once they cross to just light them up and stop them.
Yep.
I mean, Eclipse just didn't.
Didn't really do that.
Okay.
Didn't really hit their shots. But those kind of reversals and those kinds of dynamics are exactly why Himmelsdorf is Tim, our social media manager's favorite map.
Yeah, we always love him on Himmelsdorf. Stats. Let's get into that.
Yeah, let's go to this. Let's go to those stats.
Thanks, Tim.
Mr. Man with 35-24 damage overall in his WZ 111-1-4. Morphic with 29-15. Felix with 27-64. Redux with 25-09. That's a lot of damage spread out across those guys. Over here for Eclipse. Wow. I haven't been playing T1 Diabetic on my fantasy team because he drives the W100, because it usually only gets in 1 clip. But hey, if it's going to get in 2, I'll pick you all day. 43-69, a great job coming out of him. And really it's just my boy Carl that got caught out of position. Dark God Zim even squeezed in 12-30. I'm just becoming less and less of a fan of the RU-251 over 2 tier 9s on this map, unless that RU-251 is going hill to get in behind people and fire.
Okay, so that's your standard there for bringing that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the whole point of having the mobility of it.
Well, we'll see if a team does that, but right now it is all tied up. Aquatic now on defense. Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
AM60s with 250Bs, an E100, 2 215s, an IS4, an AMX 1390, Eclipse with a 50B, 2 215s, 2 IS7s, an E3, and an RU-251. It's going to be a rough battle here for Eclipse, trying to take the lead here on offense. And that's a tough situation because if they lose this on offense, now AM60s is 4-3.
Right.
And while eClipse can still be on defense, they just failed the defense.
Yeah.
So what exactly?
Yeah.
Failed the
Are you
defense
holding on
from
to?
a borderline perfect strategic position after they got them on the hill. So that probably doesn't feel like the guaranteed win comfort zone that it should.
Sure. Now, when you get to that position as eClipse, where you look back and like guys, I'm assuming they could say like, guys, we had that, right? I mean, we had that.
Yes.
And it doesn't go well. Could that also be a time where you go, okay, we had that, we know exactly where it failed, so it's no big deal? Or is it generally always just, we had that, gosh, why didn't we get that?
It depends on whether they know exactly where it failed or not.
Okay.
If they do, then maybe that'll be the message. If they don't, then well, definitely not.
Dark God
God.
Zim taking a shot there. 377 now on the run. Oh, getting tracked there. A quick repair. He's not going to be able to get out.
No.
He's going to get into this alley, and that alley goes nowhere.
No, and he's lit, so they know he's there, and they're just going to come pick him up.
Oh, Dark God Zim. Everyone get ready.
Fumble Rooski. There goes your scout. eClipse perhaps tilting at this point, because that is an awful situation to be in. However, 2-2-1-5s could potentially engage two 50Bs that are low on shots. 2-1-5s. There's two shots directly
Wow,
to Felix.
733.
I don't think it's wise to overplay that situation. Of course, the 50Bs are going to get away from you. They will be loaded, and of course, there will be things backing them up. But if you can get more rotations out of everyone else, perhaps getting more into the B0 line, that's a good spot. He could get a shot here into the IS-4 relatively soon. Doesn't look like he has him spotted. There it goes, right there.
Morphic going down.
Tiger's taking out Morphic.
He got to the position where we kind of talked about.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a good play, but Tigers at the same time is now under fire because he's way too big of a tank to be in the D-line without taking shots.
All right, did take one there, dropping to him about half health in that 50B. Oh, one thing about Dark God Zim that I kind of do want to talk about as well. I mean, last time the RE251, he went to the same position. He found Felix. He was able to shoot Felix while not being lit. And, obviously doing a fantastic job there. And at the end, they won the game when they were on offense. This time, I mean, so I can see why he went back there very aggressively, but he did this time. Two 50Bs were there, and they're right in his face.
I wouldn't criticize checking that area at all. I would criticize turning into that road.
Oh,
which
gotcha.
Is an instinctual thing, and perhaps he was expecting the 2-1-5s to muscle up on the corner more to scare people away.
Oh, okay.
But either way, trapping yourself in that corner visibly on the minimap
Everyone's like, ah,
is a pretty significant problem.
gotcha. Well, and getting tracked there was also, I mean, he was getting out of there. He was booking it. He was going fast. Track repair. You lose all your speed. So, yeah, like I said, instinctually, that seemed like that was just the best place to go.
I could actually maybe even go back and look at it and see if he was right. It's a possibility. I could see a world in which he didn't think he could drive away fast enough in the RE251, so he tucked into there. So if they're going to come get him, they're further down that road, so they can get racked up by the 2-1-5s a little bit more.
Gotcha.
At least that's what he was thinking.
Makes sense.
So he wasn't just doing it cluelessly. I just think it was probably... I think he probably overestimated exactly how fast those 50Bs were going to get there. All
right, well, right now, 22 seconds on the clock. eClipse putting that pressure on Aquatic M60s. Let's see how they're going to respond. Two tanks down for both sides. Dark God's in for eClipse, and Morphic for Aquatic, and Veggie taking down T1 Diabetic in that IS-7. Such a satisfying sound for such a satisfying kill for them. Redux taking some damage as well. Master Pupil, he did go turn around the corner and get the reset that Aquatic M60s needed and were looking for. And now 43 seconds on the clock. The Aquatic M60s is there. They are set up. Pretty good space to continue to get these resets. Mr. Manley taking a lot of damage. Felix, though, finds Tigers. A 50B falling to a 50B. And now 4 tanks remain for eClipse against the 6 for Aquatic M60s. Doing a fantastic job so far here on to Himmelsdorf. 366 there going into Master Pupil. Redux, one more shot away to be going down. He might be able to get one more shot off from that 5B. No, Master Pupil is going to deny it to him. Meanwhile, 1269, they're going to Bubble Carl Druck, taking down Mr. Man. Eclipse starting to come back here, crawling the way from the deficit that they were at. Mort, one more shot away though. He's going to be going down. Felix picking him up there in the E3, and Flesh with a quick pickup on the IS-7 onto Carl. And now it is just a 2-on-4. It amazes me how quickly a battle can go to. Oh, it's almost coming back to. Oh, no, now it's back out of the hands. But Flesh taking a lot of damage there. Drawcap doing a great job whittling down that 5B with a 5B of his own. But 3 minutes on the clock, and Aquatic M60s now getting ready to reload on the Felix. Going to have full 4 clips there in that 50B, which is going to be no bueno for anyone who comes against him. Shapeshifter fight to. His target is going to be Draw Cab 386 there going into him. Shot there, just missing there on the Master People. Shapeshifter taking a shot as well.
Draw Cab is absolutely ruining Shapeshifter right now.
I was like, why Shapeshifter is he? Why isn't he shooting? I guess is my question. There it is, 767. They're going into him. There it is. He's gonna finish him off there.
Nice move by Flesh to free up Shapeshifter, who was otherwise permanently going to get stuck like that.
All right, Master Pupil gonna get rammed there by Shapeshifter at the end, just to show him who's boss. And that is going to be Aquatic M60s picking up their 4th victory, now just 1 away from taking down eClipse here in our 3rd match of the night. Now, that, again, usually we kind of see where once one thing happens in the beginning, which was the fall of the scout for eClipse, the rest kind of tells itself. We did have Tigers in that 50B, like you said, going to take down the 1390, I think, that AM60s brought in that corner that usually proxy spots people there in the courtyard. But you said it probably wasn't the best tank to bring for that because he's big. He took some damage there while he did it.
He probably just thought he had the space to do it after so many tanks were spotted in the southwest. And then he really didn't.
That makes sense.
Easy thing to think.
Makes sense.
Easy mistake to make. Let's go to the stats because, wow.
A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Shapeshifter's pretty good at a 50B. That's what it turns out. Let's start off with Draw Cab, 41-16. Master Pupil, 31-31. Mort, 24-46. That's 215, 215, E3 in order.
Nice.
Carl with 2,000 or so. Then, just wow, 43-53 in the 50B.
gosh,
Felix with 39-18. Mr. Man with 21-88. Just great play. Great play from the 50Bs that time. Felix with his battle buddy Shapeshifter essentially ruining everyone. Like the way they came streaking into the D line to pick up that IS-7 was perfect. And it's a good example of how hard it is to get people to do things the right way.
Okay.
Because that looks like suicide to a lot of people. But they need to understand that, yes, you're going to take some damage on the way, in which they didn't. They could have, but they didn't. They came in with speed. They juked into a corner, and now they're reunited with the rest of their teammates, and they got a pick while they did it. As long as there's people that are stood off, 1 down the 8 line and 1 in the 5 line, that can contain people from flanking you, you now have 4 people in the middle that you can barrel through wherever.
Sounds pretty sweet.
If the opponent wants to group up and try and push on your middle unit,
now you have everyone there.
you have flankers.
Yeah.
And if they try and want to push on one of the other guys, they're crossing your middle unit's fire. It's a great way of playing that.
You just got to sacrifice some health for it.
Taking the B6, B7 area is always a huge benefit when you're fighting in the Northeast. AM60s did that the right way, and we don't usually see that.
Well done to them as they pick up now their 4th victory, just 1 away from closing out their night. Let's see if they can do it, or will eClipse come back and tie it up? Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
And what I mean is, you don't usually see that by anyone, not AM60 specifically.
Right.
AM60s with the 50B, 2215s, 2 IS7s, and E75, and the 1-4 eClipse with 2 50Bs, 2 215s, 2 IS7s, and an RE251. AM60s going hard.
Wow.
0
wow.
line. And they're going to plow right through the A. After the last engagement they had with eClipse here, that's a great move. Right?
Sure.
eClipse
Worked out last time.
west, bottled them up, pushed them back east. So this time, let's just go hill. Last time we came streaking out of the northeast, we absolutely stomped eClipse in the head-to-head. So let's do it again. Let's make them fight us. They got a tier 8, we got 2 tier 9s, and our tier 9s have a good amount of hit points. We have a 400 hit point lead to begin with, which actually is a lot less than I would have expected. Which is kind of crazy. But it's still enough.
Now
when it comes to guns in the fight, though,
Right.
that's a pretty big difference.
Well, now, they only brought 1 autoloader, though. The 50B is their only autoloader.
Yeah.
So is that a problem for them in the brawl?
Probably not. If they take their 50B and fire at one of the other 50Bs with any backup whatsoever, they'll wipe him out so quick. The odds in a straight-up head-to-head, the odds that 2 50Bs on Himmelsdorf are going to be better than 1 and, say, another 215 are fairly low, in my opinion.
Okay. Draw Cab doing a nice job spotting out a couple of the members of Aquatic. Here in this 5B, doing some good damage to him, too. Shapeshifter dropping down to 1,600 there. 421 going back and drop, so the Aquatic M60s can say, hey, we know you're there.
I should clarify, in a straight-up head-to-head. So as in, everybody just crashes into each other and fights on corners to a certain extent. if you allow a flank at all, 250Bs all of a sudden becomes a huge deal because they'll vaporize a tank and pull away, reload, do the same thing.
Gotcha. We'll see if that comes in the favor of eClipse right now, as cap pressure is being applied by Mr. Man.
It's a lot of movement considering how far Tigers is out. eClipse may be getting a little bit ahead of themselves, or perhaps they're just priming for a different move here. It's a very strange route to take, but maybe it'll work. And hey, check it out. Dark God Zim going hill. This could be tying it up.
Well, this is what we talked about.
eClipse is
you
looking better.
Bringing the RE251, you're going to want him up there. You're going to have the mobility. That's what he's used for. And they'll be able to start firing the back of Aquatic M60s. So they're too kind of busy dealing with what's in front of them here. Tigers is spotted out there in that 50B. Taking a lot of damage to 1,000. A little over 1,000 points going then to him. Dropping about half health. Bubble Boy Carl taking a shot too. Mr. Man getting reset there on the northern cap by Carl and Drock. So the reset's coming through. So and now with the R251, Dark God Zim is there in position, firing onto Mr. Man. Mr. Man's shot just missing. 230 going at him as well. Mort taking a shot there in the IS-7. It seems like eClipse is now set up and really just ready for whatever Aquatic M60s can do. With the HP as well, looking at the positions, David, who would you rather be right now?
I would rather be... Oh, that's tricky.
They're both
I'd rather be
pretty
eClipse, to be honest.
Okay.
By a hair. Oh, maybe not if Dark God Zim gets caught.
1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. Will it be 4?
No, now it's perfect. Now it's perfect for eClipse. Now's the time to fight. Felix is out 2 shots on a relatively insignificant
And he's
tank.
on reload too.
They still have the opportunity to take out Mr. Man. The thing that they're missing here is this angle right here. They can pop up and take him out from relative safety. We'll talk about that maybe some other time. If we come back on Himmelsdorf. Mr. Man's going down here to a different kind of push, but it's enough.
And I7 we want to take him out there. Mort with that one. Master Pupil, 1 more shot away. He's got to be careful there. Carl coming to join to kind of pincer off Shapeshifter and Redux there. 455 going to him. Redux trying to block, doing a good battle play system. Felix coming around the side, picks up Master Pupil. That is a tank. 4 tank, 1 down on each side, but T1 Diabetic finds Shapeshifter. Redux finds Veggie. Felix finds T1 Diabetic. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a battle over here for the Northern Cap. Redux taking a shot. 901 going into Mort. 1 more, he'll be going down. Let's see if Redux can find it before he goes down himself. Boy Carl gonna take him down, and Redux's shot not connecting there onto Mort. That could be the game, ladies and gentlemen. Aquatic M60s just have 3 members against the 4 now of eClipse. Felix is almost on reload. Carl does take down Morphic though, and Tigers is fully loaded in that 50B. Flesh is as good as gone. He does pick up Carl before he goes down. Felix finds Mort. Tigers takes out Flesh, and now 3 shots. Oh, that one from Felix just missing. Tigers gonna be on the reload though. Felix gonna try to find Dark God Zim there. He has 2 shots. 1 will do it, but by the time he does, Tigers should be reloaded. So eClipse in a pretty good position. A nice shot onto Tigers as he came around the corner.
If that had been a track.
Could he have had him?
Yeah.
Oof. Oof. Super close there for Aquatic M60s.
Oh, well, if you mean had him as in killed him, no. He could have had a track, which would have slowed him down, perhaps set a fire, but it would not have killed him.
Okay, gotcha.
Him being a little bit loose with that first shot is what pretty much canceled out his ability to come back realistically and successfully, as Tigers is going to probably pick him up here in the A line, as this is a very rough drive to the top. Takes quite a bit. Tigers needs to not worry about that first shot. There we go. Just send it. Don't try and make a tricky kind of aim there.
Just go.
Just do damage. Make it more feasible for Dark God. Felix is going to come right down this way. Actually, you know what? He could potentially head-to-head this if he hits this shot in full motion.
No.
Tigers just short-clipped?
Yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, Felix is going to keep the momentum. If he goes around this corner, he might be able to pick up Tigers right here. Forget about the cap. He's going to try to find this 50B. 1 shot going to go through. 383. Tigers gets around the corner again. Just people slipping right out of each other's grasp all over here.
Now, I realized Tigers could not have killed Felix in 3 shots with what's left. It wasn't very likely. But, well... No, it's possible.
Okay, wait.
It's
I
certainly
honestly like what Felix is doing right here. He is forcing someone to come to him. He has enough time to put cap pressure on.
Right.
He has 3 shots. 1 takes Dark God Zim. 1 takes Tigers. He could pick this one up right now and be their 5th victory of the night. This is going to be a good battle, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's check the angles.
Look at them angles.
Nope. Just a tad poking out where Dark God Zim will see him. Get a shot. Oh, he might have it now.
Oh, he heard you.
He might not have it now. where he's now potentially safe. I mean, not if Dark God Zim gets in the windows, but he's at least safe from a very brutal spot. Hold on, Zim is going through the train yard in the
Yep.
2?
Yep.
He's got 50 seconds, but
He's just being safe.
wow. The only downside
Fine
to
time for
putting on
Tigers.
cap pressure like this is eClipse knows where you are
Sure.
on cap.
Sure.
So you have less chance of surprise one-shotting somebody. But the nice part about this particular position is they've either got to go in that window or over
here
there.
We go.
And he is close enough to where he can chase
Why
them
is his
down.
turret that way?
Why is whose turret?
Felix. Oh, he's looking at Tigers.
Yeah, he's looking at Tigers.
Oh, it's-
He's looking at the smart play because if somebody comes in from behind him, he can easily turn around and get him very quickly.
Here we go.
Now Tigers needs to wait for Dark God Zim to get in position.
To reset and run.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on. Oh, yes. He is one shot. Ugh, this is a messy
Here
situation.
we go. Here comes the reset. Here comes the run. And now once the turn, Tigers is going to come out. And Felix, no, there goes one. And now it's just, oh, Tigers just has to run.
Yep.
Tigers needs to get out of
No,
here
he
right
needs to
now.
stay
He's
exactly
got
where
plenty
he
of
is.
time. 0 seconds there. Man, what
Woo!
a close battle for both of these teams. Now it's all tied up 4-4 as Eclipse just picked up that victory. We're going to be moving into Ghost Town. It'll be interesting to see who gets to pick and what side they choose. But yeah, right at the end, what I was thinking was going to happen, I saw Felix had his turret face up toward Aquatic. We're getting word that Aquatic gets to pick. We'll hear what they pick momentarily. Felix had his turret up toward the north, and I was thinking that Dark God Zim was going to be the first one to come over to get the reset, and then it was going to be Tigers to come around and finish him off once his turret was turned. But I guess what you're saying is he was waiting for the smarter play, which is someone to come over the top.
Yeah, so if somebody comes over the top, they can get the distance from him where they can take the shot and back off, and he can't chase them down. If they come in from behind him, he can catch them very easily.
Gotcha. Cool. He's got to go uphill.
But
Makes sense.
he has to pick
Makes
one
sense.
direction, so he picks facing the direction that's furthest away. Potentially, if the other person gets too close on the other side, he could proxy spot him, which very easily be a decent, reasonable habit that people might have. Let's just go to stats.
All right.
Let's just
A lot happened that time.
yeah, for sure. Tigers 2781 with an AMX50B. We just got word that AMX60 chooses defense on Ghost Town. Bubba Boy Carl with 2718, Draw Cab with 2498, and Mort with 2195. Our logistics engineer Tim just letting us know that Aquatic also took a timeout.
That's right. That's right. So we have a little
Thank
bit
you,
of
Tim.
time here.
Morphic with 2923 to Z75. Felix with 2903 in his 50B. 2567 for Flesh's Eyes. 72226 for Redux' 215. I don't think we really have to debate this for very long. I think it's
What?
pretty much proven that Himmelsdorf and Ghost Town are putting out a lot more points for everybody.
Yeah. So if you can look at the map picks right before you choose fantasy and you see there's going to be some city fights, just start putting people on those teams. It might start skyrocketing you to the top.
Yeah,
But
we
don't
do get to
tell
know
anyone
map
else
picks
that.
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do.
Yeah. Yeah. We have to.
You ladies and gentlemen do. We don't really,
Yeah.
because we're pretty busy that period of time. We don't get to go back and
Rechange
Change
and touch
our
up
picks.
and know that Blue Boys might be having internet issues. We have 2 timeouts now, actually. Eclipse and AM60s both taking their timeouts. They really want to go into this one just ready, prepared. Obviously, if one team take a timeout, might as well take a timeout yourself. Just give yourself more time. So AM60 is going to be on defense here. Eclipse, this is where they were last time. They were on offense on Ghost Town last time. Didn't work out for them. Maybe they have rehashed that strategy. We'll see if we can find it here and if they can find out this victory here. 'Cause it didn't quite work out for them on Tuesday.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Probably a very uncomfortable position for them this time, because they're gonna have to do it again,
Yeah, but
but
hey,
better.
That's
the idea.
Like Master People said, yeah, he learned, right? They learned from their first one, so let's see if they can apply it this time.
I'm consistently always kind of impressed with AM60's overall strategic decisions. Like, for example, that last one, just go up and over in the 0 line because we won it last time. They have a wherewithal about them of choosing what strategy to run at a time for good reasons.
Okay.
When they played against Simple Tankers, who they beat doing this. Actually, no, sorry. When they played against Noble, that's who I'm thinking of. They beat doing this. They just held off on the Cliffside defense, didn't come push to the middle, made Cliff come after them.
Right.
Or made Noble come after them. And, yeah, I mean, Cliff doesn't have to go anywhere. It already had him. Noble,
true.
Noble broke, attempting to break that, because it's one of those things where, yes, you can do it. Yes, it's easy. So what I'm getting at, but it's hard. You have to actually do it.
Right.
And once you make mistakes, things kind of
Make
snowball
your
in the
opponent
opposite
make
direction.
mistakes. Yeah.
What I'm saying is I really like what they do with their overall strategy and their approach to how they're going to combat the team that they're playing at the time.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why I was kind of commending them before the battle, looking at when they go up against Noble or when they went up against Simp. When we see other teams do this that are kind of lower down, not quite up at those Titan levels, we call them, they will be very passive, be very defensive, not try to go toe-to-toe. And Aquatic M60s has always just come smashing up right against those guys. So it's been really fun to watch them indeed. And eClipse is up in the standings. I think they're in second place right now overall. Remember? Maybe I'm completely totally wrong, but they're higher up in the standings. Because I remember on Tuesday, they potentially, it was a pretty big battle between them to take second place because those 3 points has been huge. So, again, these victories as the season goes on, it's so much more fun to see the pressure that's added to these teams. Where it's like, all right, we need to win this just to keep our spot, to keep the top 4. Maybe I'm just totally rambling off.
I'm just always, every time we get into standings discussions about where people are at that point in time, I can never remember. I have a terrible memory for certain things. That's one of them.
Standings, one of them. All right,
Yeah.
Good to know. Hold on. No standings. Good to know. Ladies and gentlemen,
Bring the standings with us.
that's true. The tiebreaker is about to get underway onto Ghost Town. Aquatic M60s is on defense. eClipse on offense. Who do you think is going to win? Let us know right now in chat as we get into what we've got for our tanks.
AM60s with an E100, two 215s, an E5, a T22, an E75, and a 1.4. Eclipse with two 113s, two E100s, a 215, a 5120, and a T54. T54. We're going to do it again. Perhaps this time bigger?
I mean, again, last time they attempted it, it did get very close. Within a couple seconds, if I remember correctly. So if they found a way to get those couple seconds back, this could be theirs.
True. There's no E3
True.
to just shut them down this
Right.
time.
Right. Oh, but they're not going. No. Look, they're not even going for the northern cap. They're still going for the center.
No, perhaps they're going to barrel right over the center and directly into essentially what is the engagement zone of this map. Kind of like a 4-block area where the vast majority of the fighting happens.
Well, actually, looks like they're just going to put some cap pressure on.
So they're going to go split defense this side, and then they've got fallback people here to make sure they are not getting flanked there. Tigers on this side to make sure if anybody pokes around. All right. Let's see how it goes.
15 seconds on the clock. Aquatic M60s are now pushing out Morphic and Shapeshifter. Both being spotted out. The shot there going out of Morphic. 1,220 going to the side of that E75. A T1 Diabetic is going to shut him down. 13 seconds on the clock, and eClipse has already found a kill here on Ghost Town. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final battle of our third match of the night, and eClipse is looking good to take it right now. Let's see if Aquatic M60s can stop him. Dropcam just having a shot go right over his head there in that 5B. Aquatic M60s is finding the resets. They're taking a lot of damage for it. 400 goes into Drock there. Mr. Man taking some as well. Shapeshifter taking some damage there. Dark on Zim has come around the side, the T54, and is doing a great job just kind of pelting any member that he can find. And this is the situation you get into as a scout where you're too annoying, where people can't really deal with you, but they need to deal with you, and they got to do it quickly. Let's see if Aquatic M60s can do that. 7 seconds on the clock. Mr. Man dropping well below half there in that 1-4. Now it's down to 4 seconds, down to 3. Redux needs to find a shot there. He finds it onto Bubble Boy Carl, but Mort takes down Mr. Man for that one. And now Redux is taking a lot of damage. This looks like Eclipse is just happy to take it right to him. Shapeshifter over 1,000 there in that E5. Flesh is one more shot away from going down. And ladies and gentlemen, it looks like Eclipse is going to take this one as Carl and Mort get a double kill. Shapeshifter and Flesh going down. Just 3 tanks remain for Aquatic. All 7 for Eclipse here. Redux getting surrounded. Felix, he's been going down right next as Druck takes down Redux there. T1 Diabetic comes from the side, but he's not going to get there in time. Carl, he's going to be one to finish him off, leaving just Veggie in that T22, who is all by himself. Takes a shot there.
Is that like the Creed rendition?
Going to Carl. Yeah, that's like the, yeah, I don't even know what that was. Well, hey, chat.
It was great.
Chat,
It was great.
let me know what that was. 11 seconds on the clock. It does not matter. Veggie can't escape here. Carl's going to get another kill, it looks like. Lining the shot up. No, oh, no, just holding it. Maybe trying to give it to Tigers there. Comes in the corner. No, lets it go. Veggie doing a good job. Down to 1 second, though. The cap is going to go through. Veggie might be able to stay alive because eClipse has successfully timed out Aquatic. No, Carl picking it up before taking a nosedive there off the end. And that is going to be the 5th and final victory for eClipse. 5-4 was the final score there. Congratulations to them. A very fun battle indeed, bringing them to the center.
A good strategy. I don't know if we've seen anybody attempt something exactly like it. We've seen similar things.
Okay.
One of the better ways I've seen it done, and it worked quite well. Let's check out the numbers.
There we go. So now they can kind of brush off what happened last time.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they see an E3 and it all comes flooding back to them
Like,
all at
"No!"
once. Mort with a 39-31 out of his E100. Draw Cab with 24.02. Dark Gods in with 22.47 in the T54. There's a good example. Scouting, getting it done. Like you
Killing
said, there's no way the E100 that he was shooting at would have been able to even hit him. Turn his turret around, and he's gone.
Gotcha.
So, E100, T1 Diabetic with 21.45. Everybody else breaking in between 1,500 and 2,000 on that team. Then over here for AM60s, Felix with 30.70. He's just been killing it all night. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
I've been looking, for there's so much talent on AM60s. A lot of these people they play up, they play down. It depends on the situational stuff that I haven't really known who to kind of highlight because they all play together fairly well.
Right.
But tonight,
Felix.
I'm going with Felix.
Well done,
Shapeshifter.
Felix.
Shapeshifter did a great job, just not in that last game. But that's not his fault.
All right. Well, congratulations again to eClipse for picking that one up. Look at the standings. eClipse was tied right now for 4th place. So they are up there. And that point right now, after all is said and done, I'm not even going to get into it. Let's just stay away from standings right now. That was our 3rd match. Our 4th and final match is about to be underway. It is going to be Caller Wanted versus Simp. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.